Today in the shop, I'm trying to join two pieces of oakage together and make something real nice like. Yeah, I'm trying to join these. The problem is I done made a mistake on one of my cuts. These two pieces of oakage cost me $5,000 a piece because wood prices are nuts. So instead of going up and buying more, I'm gonna fix it. And I'm gonna show you how to fix it. Why, you ask? Because it's Tool Tip Tuesday.
It's Tool Tip Tuesday. Yeah! Tool Tip for free. Yeah!
What's up, everybody? My name is Clint and welcome to the Tool Review Zone channel. Today I'm going to show you some cool wood joinery. Well, wood joinery if you made a mistake and how you can fix it. So a lot of us use mortise, tenon. Maybe you're building some table legs and you don't want to use a Craig jig. I mean, let's be honest, they're okay, but you know, whatever. The problem that you have though is that maybe you cut a little bit too much off the inside of your material when you got to try to fit these two pieces of wood together. Well, it's not going to work out and it's just sloppy and it doesn't look real nice like. Well, today I'm going to show you two ways, yes, not one way, but two ways on how to fix your pieces of wood when you're trying to join them up. If you cut them too big or off or whatever, we're going to take care of it. It's a 2 for 2 Tool Tip Tuesday. All right, so I decided to make this type of joint so you can actually see what's going on, you know, on the inside. But if you're doing the mortise tenon joint, it'll work pretty much the same. So we're going to do two different types here. So maybe I want to join these up. Maybe I'm doing some table legs and I don't want the Craig jig. I'm just going to, you know, mark this out. And maybe I'm not so good at cutting. And yeah, that's real nice. Like, okay, so I'm going to take this out. I'm going to take it over to the bandsaw or the jigsaw or whatever saw you have and just, you know, slice and dice that bad boy up. Listen, I refuse to bore you with all the slice and dice, so let's just get to the point, shall we? Oh no, what did I do? Did I make my cut too big? Oh, that's okay. I'm going to handle this like a man because that's what I always do here. Why? Oh, I got an idea. All right, no big deal here. I'm going to take this right here, and I'm going to take that handmade clamp that I showed you how to do this. You know, when you clamp that down, I put that card right here. It actually works out real nice like. Matter of fact, I believe it was a Tool Tip Tuesday a couple weeks ago. If you were a subscriber, you know that. Anyway, we're going to clamp that on down there. Now, you can use a drill to do this, or you can use a drill press. Sometimes a drill press is actually easier, but not everybody has it, so we're just going to use a drill. But it's pretty simple. All you got to do is drill a hole on your line. So you got one on the side, on the left, and one on the right. If you want to put one on the top, you can, but you don't really need to. Now listen, I know what you're thinking. It looks really bad, but don't worry. We're going to make this thing look real nice like, but we do got to add some wood glue. We're going to put it on the sides over here to add some strength. We're going to put her down in there. We're going to go the whole way around, and yeah, we're going to get that nice and secure, but this is where the coolness comes in. All right, so we got a couple wood dowels here, and they just fit the size of the drill bit you use. We're going to put some glue on all the surroundings. You know, throw it right here, a little bit right here. We're going to do that to both of them. Once you get that, all that gabagoo up on there, oh, it's moist. Get that on there. We're going to let that dry up, and we're going to move it over to our next type of, I guess, joinery fix, and then we're going to come back to this. Oh, and FYI, if you can clamp this up, go ahead and do it. Just adds a little bit more support, I guess, and it just, you know, gives it a nicer seal. But if you can't, don't worry about it because I'm going to show you a really cool step that you ain't even going to see those cut lines. All right, let's do another joint. Oh, did I mess up again? Even worse this time? Wait, it's off 1/8 of an inch on each side? Listen, I'm going to pull it together. Don't worry about it. What? I can fix this. Yeah. All right, so here's the second way of doing this. Now, this is really a drastic measure type of deal. If you're really far off, you know, you got a lot of movement, those dowels probably aren't going to work out all that great. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a couple shims. We're just going to go over to the bandsaw or the jigsaw, whatever, but they don't need to be that thick, maybe, you know, 1/8 of an inch each, but you want them as a shim. I'll show you right here. All right, check these out. It's a shimmity shim, shimmity, shimmer-doo, shimmery. So basically your tenon, well, you got to make two cuts, and I like to keep them about 1/2 inch from the edge. So you can see I'm cutting one on the right, and I'll cut one on the left. And all I'm going to do, yeah, right there, I need something that I'm going to be able to put those shims in. And the shims should only be as long as the cuts that you are making. Now, the reason why I don't want to go too far in on the boards because I don't want it to split up the middle. I want this thing to expand out on the sides. So that's why I put it a little bit closer to the edge. But that's basically what you're doing right here. Now, I'm trying to give you the best view. I would usually put this in some type of vise, but you're not going to be able to see it very well. So you see I got my shimmer doos right there. And what's going to happen is it's going to, when I push down on this, it's going to expand that board out. All right, so it's not so much a push down. I'm going to use a rubber mallet. I'm going to smack that in, but I'm going to use my clamp right here. And again, it's a little bit tough to do this like this, but I'm trying to give you a half decent view, but I'll try to stand it up a little bit. But you can see it's expanding the edges of that board out where those shimmy-doos are. See that? It was tap it, and then I'm gonna stand this up and get it real nice and tight like. All right, so you just want to tap it down, get that thing nice and flush in there after you take your chisel and, you know, clean that up. But yeah, so that's what's gonna look like. And don't worry, I know it's ugly. We're gonna fix it. But how are we going to fix it? How are we going to get everything to match up? Wow.
It's a 3-for-3 Tooltip Tuesday.
Listen, you're going to have all kind of dust left over, whether you're sanding something or cutting something. Oh, I don't want to do that. I need more dust. So I'm going to go back and get more dust, but you can see it's real fine. I'm going to take my Gabagoo glue and I'm going to mix it in there. I'm going to make a putty. Now you can make this very wet, or you can make this very moist, or you can make this somewhat drier. You know, it depends on how much sanding you want to do and how thick you want it, but I definitely need more glue than this. It's just not moist enough.
Moist.
So long story short, I add a little bit more glue and I just mixed it up. Okay, now I took my pool saw and here's the first one, the first fix that we talked about. I'm just going to take those dowels, I'm going to cut them flush on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Gabagoo and I'm just going to bring it on in there. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I had a little bit of a rough night the other night and I might have went a little crazy on the Gabagoo right here. You don't need all that much Gabagoo. You just need some stuff to, you know, fill in those cracks. But here's the thing, you don't need that wood putty stuff that you go out and buy. First off, it's really hard to get stain into it. Actually, it won't take any stain. Second off, it doesn't look natural. It looks like a fix. But with something like this, you're using the sawdust from the wood that you were using with a little bit of glue, and it's actually going to look like that piece of wood. So it blends in everything real nice like. All right, let's be honest with myself here. I put on way too much. I mean, I use a little bit extra to feather everything out, but yeah, you don't need all that much. I did this on both pieces of wood. So I'm going to sand this down with some 60 grit. And then after I hit it with the 60 grit, I'll hit it again with like an 80 grit. And then I'll finish it off with like a 120 grit. But you can see right here, wow, it's looking real nice like. Now, I want you to remember though, the more glue you use in that mixture, the lighter that area is going to be. Now, this is what it looks like on the back where we did not treat it. It's ugly. It's not real. Oh, what? All right, so here's the thing. I probably could have pushed down a little bit harder in those creases, but you get the point. I mean, yeah, I can use a second coat, but that Crown Royale game that I was playing last night did not go over very well this morning. But if you do put a second coat, or if you mix that a little bit thinner, it'll fill those in. It'll look really good. And here is the other one that we did where we actually use, you know, we cut down the board on each side and then threw those shimmy-doos in there. And you can't even tell. I mean, it is really, really a cool fix in case you run into a bind and you just don't want to throw something away. You can't throw something away. Maybe you're using some reclaimed wood and you messed up the cut. It happens sometimes. And you can go over there, you mix up, you know, all of your sawdust with some glue and it'll come out really, really nice. And again, I could have mixed it a little bit thinner, pushed down a little bit harder and would have went in, but these are super, super strong. They're not going to break. They're not going anywhere. You got that glue going the whole way around it. It's just a really cool fix. So there you go, everybody. That's how you can join up two pieces of wood. Even if you made a mistake on cutting and, you know, your sizes are off a little bit, you can fix things. And, you know, the wood prices really suck. And I know my cheap butt ain't going out and buying more. Now, if this video has helped in any sort of way, please don't forget to smash that like button. It's greatly appreciated. I always appreciate you stopping by. With that, we'll be back with more videos soon. Oh, I'll leave a couple right here if you want to check those out too.